go.
Hello, I'm Cindy Freeman. I'm the Director of Career Development at Franklin University. One of the things we're looking forward to is our next virtual career fair, which will occur on June 9th. What we want to do today is help prepare you for that experience. Career fairs are happening every day, and they're almost all virtual. So we want to make sure that you understand the tools. Ours is going to work a little different than some of the others you're going to see because we've made it 100% internal. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Tim Getz.
All right, thank you, Cindy. Yeah, we do everything internal for our career fair, but we're going to give you some tips and tricks today to working a virtual career fair, and in particular, our virtual career fair. And we'll actually walk you through what our career fair looks like at the end, so you get a feel of what you're looking for. So you want to treat every career fair as a job interview. You're getting to know the employer is getting to know you. You're getting to know or get a feel for the organization and whether or not you want to work for that company. And vice versa, the organization is getting a feel for whether or not you'd be a good fit for their culture. So treat it as a job interview when you go into it.
I think the other piece, Tim, that's important to point out here is employers always have jobs that aren't currently posted. So you may come to a company at a job fair and they don't have the position you're interested in, but you're able to create a connection to talk about yourself, to present what you know, and be able to follow up then from that employer to you about another position that may be available within their company.
Yeah, great point, Cindy. And so here's how you want to approach the representative or the organization as you walk into or get into a booth in a virtual career fair. So you want to treat your initial response as a 1-minute me. So you tell the representative who you are, summarize your work history or your education history if you don't necessarily have an extensive background or work history. And then you want to tell them what you want to do for the organization. So that's going to require that you do a little bit of research into the types of jobs that the organization has available and the type of culture the organization has, so that you can speak to how you fit in your knowledge, skills, and abilities fit into that organization. So that would be your 1-minute me as you approach that particular employer.
I guess, Tim, one of the things I would jump in and say is that you're going to go into a room in this environment, and there may be one hiring person there may be more than one, and you're going to be able to introduce yourself. My name is, I've studied blank at Franklin University. I'm finishing this month. I've had experience in customer service, crisis intervention, and a great deal of experience in understanding what a consumer needs. You look at the company, they're looking for a salesperson. So you put those pieces together, what you've done in the past. Then you're going to tell them how your experience, how your education, and how your training prepares them to solve that problem that they've identified in their ad.
Yeah, and the other thing too, with the 1-minute me and introducing yourself, we realize that it's very difficult for some students and individuals to do, and because it involves coming out of your shell a little bit, and really talking about yourself and your experience and what you can bring to an organization. So we have a couple of templates on the My Career app or platform if you haven't been out there. And there's also going to be a video posted very soon about the 1-minute me and what that looks like for individuals. So check that out if you need help with writing a 1-minute me. And you can use that template, set that up, and then Cindy and I would be more than happy to sit down with you and go over that 1-minute me if you have any questions from there. So you want to be prepared too. So you're going to research the positions the company has open and what the culture is of the organization. So would you be a good fit for them? Would they be a good fit for you? Because this is ultimately something, while we do tend to change jobs and organizations on a more frequent basis today, you're looking at a couple years endeavor for this. And if it's not the right fit, that could be a miserable couple of years. So you want to make sure that the fit as well as the position is what you're looking for, as well as what the organization might be looking for as well. You will also want to gather contact information for the employers when you go into these. So who are you talking to? Is it a recruiter? Is it a hiring manager? What is their title in the position, and how much influence are they going to have on potentially bringing you in for a job? But the reason you want this contact information is you're always going to follow up like an interview. in a career fair, you're always going to follow up with those employers to speak to your desire to have a position with their organization, and thank them for taking the time to meet with you. Um, the other thing you're going to have with you is a PDF copy of your resume. And the reason you're going to have PDF is they can't edit it. So in the formatting, when they open it, it's going to be the same throughout, whether they're opening it through PDF or Word or whatever. Sometimes Word gets all jumbled up. So you want to make sure that you have a PDF copy of your resume with you. That way, the formatting stays the same and they can see it just as you intended it to be.
And Tim, one of the nice things about a virtual career event, you can submit your resume prior to the event. So the recruiters will have access to that. The other nice thing, you can also, if you have the time, if there's specific companies you're interested in a specific role, you are able to tailor your resume and have that tailored copy of your resume ready at that time to deliver to that potential employer.
And speaking of tailoring your resume, Cindy, the video we just recorded on tailoring your resume is currently up on My Career. So if you need help and assistance with tailoring that resume, check out that video. It's posted on My Career currently. So, and I know it's right on the homepage when you log into the My Career site. All right, you want to dress appropriately. While we are in a virtual environment, you want to make sure that you are dressing to the position. So like this says here, first impressions matter, even virtually. You want to make sure that you're at least wearing a nice top, but preferably, because you may have a spur of the moment interview. And we know that dressing appropriately breeds confidence. So you want to make sure that you are confident in the day. So you want to dress appropriately, whether that's the full suit or shirt and tie, a nice blouse or a blazer, whatever that may be. You want to make sure that you're dressed appropriately and you're ready for those potential spur of the moment interviews that come up. Of course, we say here, dress business casual at a minimum. And best to opt for the more formal version of business casual. Again, shirt, coat and tie, blazer, whatever that may be. But you want to make sure that you're ready for those potential interviews that may happen.
Tim, I think you've touched on a really interesting subject of actually what can occur in a virtual career fair. The employers that we have 35 as of today that are going to be part of the career fair, but they have the opportunity to set up their booth, in quotes, any way they want. So that might mean you come into X company, you have a conversation with the representatives there. He, she, or these say, can you hold on for a minute? I have somebody I'd like you to talk to. They can actually put you into another room with an actual person who's going to conduct an interview at that time. And that does occur.
You need a little help here with the dress and what's appropriate, what's not. Here's a little guide for you to take a look at. Like I said, for men, it's the suit coat or sport coat and tie, shirt tie. Sometimes the tie is optional, but in this instance, we would recommend that you would wear at least a shirt and tie to the event. Ladies, the jacket and or blazer, nice shirt, and then again, we mentioned that the slacks or pants are optional here as far as the dress or dress casual. We recommend them though, again, because it helps with that confidence in going into a potential interview that you may have.
The other thing you want to think about is this a more formal venue where you're going to interact with multiple companies. Your attire may change when you have an on-site interview with a company where you're adapting more to that company's culture.
All right, so what to do when you get or during the career fair. So you want to make sure that you allow enough time to visit all of the employers that you want to visit. You want to make sure that you arrive early and that you walk through a couple of or visit a couple of employers first to kind of get your bearings set. You want to meet with potential school representatives like Cindy and myself. We're going to be there, and actually that's the first step. And when you arrive to our career fair, is we recommend that you come into our booth and meet with us, so that way we can show you, or we can review your resume, give you a quick look, and make sure that your resume is readable or that it's the right document. Unfortunately, in the past, we've had a couple of students who have shown up with blank Word documents to present to potential employers. And unfortunately, that results in not a good look for that particular employer. So we can help with that right off the start. The other thing we can do is help you get your bearings and to ease some of those butterflies that you may have.
Right.
One of the other potential benefits to meeting with us too is we can talk about your major, and we know a lot of the employers, so
Correct.
we can then suggest employers that you may want to visit that would fit your career and what you're looking to do. So after you visit with us, you want to make sure that you prioritize your time visiting the employers that you really want to visit, that have the jobs that you really are looking at. But you want to be flexible because some of these employers are going to have a lot of students in there that they're talking with at the same time. The other piece may be that an employer can do a presentation at the top of every hour. So if you arrive at let's say you arrive at 10:30 and their next presentation is at 11, you can go and visit another employer and then come back when they're giving their presentation at the top of the hour. You also want to make sure that you have questions prepared for the representative. And that question is not what's the starting salary for the position. It never is. We don't recommend that. Save that for the initial screening interview with the hiring manager or the representative, but never in a formal interview setting do you ask that question. This is basically a feeling out process. So it's to get to know what the organization is looking for in an employee. And it's also getting to know what their culture is like so that you can make sure it's going to be a good mutual fit for both sides. And then visit as many employers as you can. You never know what jobs an employer has. So we would recommend that you visit as many employers as you can while you're there. So that would also mean that you arrive early. So our career fair this time is going to start at 9:30 a.m. It ends at 1. We would recommend that you get there as close to 9:30 as you possibly can so that you can visit with as many employers that you would like to visit with.
Well, Tim, one of the things that's very interesting, and we've done this face to face back in the olden days. Now we've done it virtually, but things work the same way. Everybody comes with some nerves. Everybody comes with that feeling like, I don't know what to do. Spending a little time with Tim and I can help ease that. Then the next thing is we really would encourage you to visit first a couple of employers that you have absolutely no interest in the world in working for, to kind of work out those nerves and kind of work out that little 1-minute me in your conversation with them. Always keep in mind that in this format, as in the real world, you have the opportunity to return to an employer. So you could talk to that employer, think about what they've said, come back and say, after visiting a couple of employers, I'm even more interested in X company. I'm really interested when you spoke about XYZ. Can you tell me more?
Yep, exactly. All right. So here's some things you're always going to do. And as Cindy said, you can always, go back and meet with those employers, but you're going to gather that contact information like we mentioned earlier. And this is so that you can send out those thank yous and remind those employers of your knowledge, skills, and abilities by sending them a copy of your resume. You can always in that email bring up, how your fit with that organization, occurs, whether that's with the job or whether that's, with the culture, whatever that may be. The other thing too, a lot of these employers, while they may gather your resume, they also encourage you to go out to the organization's website and apply to the position. This way, when you follow up, you can say, hey, I'm interested in position XYZ. Here's how my knowledge, skills, and abilities fit with that. And I have taken care of the application on your website. They can go and pull that information from there. And if they want to bring you in for an interview, they can do that. But again, you always want to gather that information so that you can always follow up after the career fair. Generally, we say within 24 to 48 business hours, you want to make sure that you're following up with those employers so that they are reminded of, again, your knowledge, skills, and abilities and how they would fit with that organization. All right. So if you have any questions, here's our contact information. There's our website. It's franklin.edu /your-career. Our email address is careerdev@franklin.edu. If you haven't been on the My Career platform, there's some great videos and tutorials and resume templates, you name it. We've got a ton
And
of stuff
jobs.
and resources and jobs out there for you, so that you can search and find those jobs if you'd like. Tons of information out there for students. So check that out. It's always free. And I think next, I'm going to go ahead and stop the presentation, and I'm going to pull up the career fair so we can walk through that and we can show you what that's going to look like on Wednesday, June 9th. Right. All right, Cindy, can you see the career fair?
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so when you pre-register for the career fair, you're going to get a link that's going to have the link to the career fair. It's going to direct you to this page. So when you come in, it's going to give you the time, the date. Like we said, right now, I think we're at 35 or 36 employers. We're expecting a few more to come in.
Mhm.
The first step in this is to check in with Cindy and I, and you'll be in my Zoom room. And Cindy and I'll be in there. Again, we can review your resume. We can talk about your major. We can give you potential employers that you're going to want to meet with, that are going to be at our career fair. And we can tell you, ones that would be great, might be a good fit for you. Check them out.
I think the other thing to remind them of, Tim, is that you can come back in and see us if you need a minute during the
That's
career fair. If
that's
you
very
need to
true.
process something, you want to talk about an interaction, you're having trouble forming a question, you can come back and visit with us.
Yep, we'll be there all day. So come in and visit us as frequently as you'd like. We'll be there to, kind of ease those butterflies, as we said.
In this next piece, the one thing I want to show you before Tim goes in individually, you want to see, it says visit employers, but you want to see that they're using different platforms. So there's a list of employers that are in teams. And then if you roll down, Tim.
Yep. And that's a great reminder, Cindy. We have these divided out by the platform they're using. So there's this group in gray is Teams, this group in blue is Zoom, and then we have a WebEx and GoToMeeting employers. So what we recommend is that even if an employer you really, really want to meet with is down here, and let's say it's Mount Carmel and you want to really meet with them, well, what we would recommend is that you meet with one platform group at a time. So if you're meeting with, you want to meet with Mount Carmel, they're down at in the WebEx, but you also want to meet with this legacy maintenance systems. Well, choose one of the platforms and go through all the employers that you want to meet within that platform at a time. And that way, what you can do is ensure that your technology is working for each one of the employers in that area. And that way you're not jumping back and forth from platform to platform. You're using one platform at a time. So, hey, my Teams is working great. I'm going to go to each employer here, and then we're going to jump out and go to Zoom next. But it gives you that chance in between those platforms to test out your technology and make sure that it's working properly. So that's one recommendation we have. So you'll see a lot more of the employers right now are using the Teams and the Zoom as opposed to the WebEx or GoToMeeting. The other thing is to make sure that you have each one of these apps downloaded on your phone, iPad, computer, wherever it may be. Download those apps now and get signed up for an account or whatever you need to do. Generally, they're free for these types of things. So you want to make sure that you have the technology downloaded to whatever computer or iPad or tablet, whatever you're using. You want to make sure that you have it downloaded. And speaking of technology, we do recommend that you be using a computer for these, mainly because the connection to the internet typically is a little bit better than some of the others, and the view of the screen is a lot better on an actual computer compared to an iPad or a phone or what have you. So you go through each one of these, and right now they're in alphabetical order. There's no rhyme or reason other than just alphabetical order. So there's not, employer preference over another. There's not a technology preference over another. They're just alphabetical order according to the technology they happen to be using. So you go through and you visit each one of these employers, and all you're really going to do, let's say you really want to visit Bold Penguin, you're going to click the little plus sign here. It's going to give you some information about what they have, their organization. who their contact is within that organization.
That's that contact information you're going to need post-career event.
Yep. And then if you click on the click here, I'm not going to click it now because it'll take me away and screw up my whole presentation going right now. But if you click there, it's going to take you to their website and show you the opportunities that they have. And that way you can get a little bit of background on what they're offering, the types of things they do, and the type of employees they're looking for.
So
and
what we've really done, if we've made your research easy.
Really
so
easy.
Once you register, you're going to be able to go in and look at Bold Penguin, the little bloop that we have here. You can go to their website via the link about the jobs that are there. You can look at the company culture. You can see what they're hiring for. You can really get a solid idea of what you want to talk about at the actual career event.
And the really nice part about it being like this is it's a simple copy and paste, where you could copy and paste into a Word document all of the employers that you've met with that day. So you have their information saved, you have their website saved. And then the other thing too, once when next Wednesday rolls around, or June 9th rolls around, this Zoom room here will be active, and that's where you're going to click into to actually meet with on that day. For Bold Penguin, it's going to be Lori. But where we've made it as simple as possible as we can for you guys to get that information, find out what they're hiring for, and to enter their Zoom room. So you go through that for each and every employer, and you'll see it's the same thing for every one of them. So if you want InnoSource, here's the information on InnoSource. Copy and paste that into a Word document, like I said, so that way you have all that information for later on. And that way, if you get kicked out or lose that information, you can always come right back to it. So once you've met with all of the employers you want to, and again, I'm going to show you just one under each one, just so you can see it. Once you've met with each of the employers you want to meet with, and you're ready to call it a day at the career fair, you go ahead and click the exit here. It'll take you to a small survey that we do ask that you fill out, and that will help us improve on the experience in the next round of virtual career fair that we have, which will probably be in the fall.
But I'd point out that this is really important information to us, because in the career fair that we had previously this term, we had the career fair on Friday. The biggest piece of consistent feedback we got in the exit interview from that was that Friday's not the best day for neither the employer nor the student. And that's why we changed the day. So we really want to use your feedback to make the process better.
Right. Yeah. And you know, so that's a great point. Yeah, we got that same feedback, not on Fridays, from both students and employers. So we're like, well, what day of the week works best? So it was Wednesday or Thursday for most everybody worked out. So we're trying a Wednesday now, kind of a midday thing. But if that comes back in the evaluations that they want something a little bit later, that may be something we look into in the future. So we do recommend you complete that survey for us. And again, that's just so that we can get an idea of what works best for everybody. And that's our career fair. So it's really, you know, easy to manage and navigate. You can find employers, you know, with relative ease there. Copy and paste that information so that we always have it for follow-up, and you can track that information as you need. And again, if you have any questions, Cindy and I will be there all day, posted up in my Zoom room. So please drop in and ask any questions that you might have, and we're happy to help.
The other thing I would tell you is, when you register for the actual career fair, this presentation, the link for it, will be attached to the email you receive in response. So that'll allow you to review this all in one spot in case you're going to get nervous about things. It'll be right there.
Great point, Cindy. Well, thanks for viewing our video, and we hope you enjoy the career fair. Thanks.